Welcome in. How are you today?
Oh, thank you.
My name is Ellen. I'm your counselor.
Hi.
Did I ask you how you were doing today? Okay, I'm sorry. It's been
okay.
a long day.
That's okay.
Before we start, I want to let you know that everything that we say in this session is completely confidential, but there are some instances that I have to report, because it's the state law. So, it would be, anything like if you are a harm to yourself or others, if there is suspicion of child abuse, elderly abuse, or dependent abuse, if there was a medical emergency, or if I needed to consult my supervisor,
Okay.
Dr. Tammy Montgomery at Troy University.
Great. Okay. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. So what brings you in today?
Well, I'm a little bit anxious, just about coming in general. This is my first time, ever talking to a therapist.
Okay.
So
Well,
that makes me a little nervous.
I just want you to know that you coming in here today speaks volumes, and you are strong for taking that step.
Well, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. You seem a little down, or
Yeah, I'm a little bit, I feel kind of overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
And this has kind of been something I should have started probably a long time ago, but I have never really wanted to talk to anybody about what I'm feeling. I just don't think that it's worth really talking about, but I know that my depression and anxiety is getting worse, and I'm,
Okay.
wanted to take that step.
Okay. Do you, so what triggers your anxiety or depression? Is there anything going on in your life that's causing it to skyrocket in a way?
So I got married really young,
Okay.
right out of high school, so I've only ever dated, my husband, and that I feel like has really been the only life that I've known outside of, I graduated high school and then I got married, so I just am having a really hard time finding my own identity right now.
Okay. Do you have any support around you, like any close friends, any family members that live nearby?
Well, I have two small kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and so it's hard for me to find time for anything outside of just being their mom right now.
Okay. So when you are with your kids, how are you feeling?
I wish I could say that I did find comfort in that, but I really don't. So
Okay.
I take care of them, but I'm not happy taking care of them just because, I didn't really mean to get pregnant the first time.
Yeah.
Because we were so young. We'd only been married for a little while, so that I felt like I was just learning how to even be a wife, and then I had to be a mom.
Have you thought about, getting away with the kids to get away from all the hustle and bustle and going to the beach, the mountains?
All of that
For a
sounds
getaway.
so nice, but I don't really have anybody to watch them, and my husband isn't the kind who's good with, watching the kiddos. So it's kind of just on me, and if I left them, I don't know who would really be taking care of them.
Okay. Have you looked into any daycare options around the area?
I haven't.
Okay. I know that, I have a couple of counselors that are in this practice with me. They're licensed marriage and family therapists, and they can help me give you some pamphlets about some daycare options in the area.
Okay, that would
So
be
you
great.
can research some opportunities for you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, good.
Thanks for that. That's nice.
You're welcome. So, aside from you being a mom and having your kids, what would be your ideal, what is your ideal type of day? What would you do?
Oh, that's such a good question. I've not been able to think about my ideal type of day in a very long time.
Yeah.
just a day without any noise, just a quiet day.
Yeah.
Without any kids crying, without my husband wanting something from me. So, yeah, just a quiet day.
Okay. Do you take care of yourself? Like, have you participated in any self-care activities, like going to the gym, going for a walk? A walk is the way to
Is
go.
it?
It is really quiet. That's what I do when I'm going through some stuff.
I guess I just feel so guilty leaving my kids that I don't make time for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So right now I'm not. I would like to eventually, but right now I just feel like, because my kids are so small,
Mm-hmm.
that they just need me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, like, I'm not able to really do anything for myself.
Yeah, that's tough. I know that having kids is a big step. I have 2 kids of my own,
Oh,
so I completely understand where you're
yeah.
coming from. It's very, very stressful at times, and I can completely understand where you're coming from.
Thanks for saying that.
You're welcome. So, what does your husband do for a living?
So he works at a bank, which
Okay.
is nice, because he's home at nighttime,
Mhm.
to help out with the kiddos. So, and he's off on, most weekends, so he's
Okay.
able to be at home, which should be nice in theory, but really, it's almost like when he comes home, I just have a third kid to take care of.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's not very helpful around the house.
Have you have you talked to him about it? How you've been
No,
feeling?
girl, he won't listen.
He doesn't listen at all.
No, he doesn't listen at all. It's honestly really frustrating me.
Okay.
So I'm like at my wit's end with it.
Go into a little more detail about it, about what's been going on. How long has it been happening?
Well, when we were dating, I didn't know this was happening because
Okay.
he lived at home with his own mom.
Yeah.
And she took care of him. And then we got married and he just expected me to become his mom, which is really frustrating, but like I understand in hindsight that he never had to be independent.
Yeah.
So he always relied on someone in his house to take care of him. So of course, when we got married, he just assumed, that I would continue doing what his mom did for him.
And how old were y'all when y'all got married?
19.
19?
So right out of high school.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
he was probably still
Oh yeah.
maturing,
Oh, yeah.
so he didn't get,
Mhm.
y'all didn't get to prepare because
No.
you just
Yeah.
got
It was,
married.
I hate to say it was a mistake, but that's my first instinct, is to say like, it was a mistake.
Are you happy with your marriage?
No, not right now. Mm-mm.
Have you considered trying any type of marriage counseling?
I would consider it, but I mean, he won't even have a conversation with me at home. So I really can't imagine him being open enough to have a conversation with a therapist
Okay.
and me. You know what I mean?
So does he have any other friends that he hangs out with?
Oh, he
is
has
it
a lot of
just-
friends. Yeah. He
Okay.
hangs out with his friends whenever he wants to, and then I just have to stay at home and take care of our kids.
Okay. So have you ever spoken to him and expressed what's been going on and asking him like, hey, can we like meet in the middle? Is there any is it like,
So he really is not open to that. He honestly still behaves like he did when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
So we're the same age, so we're both 23 now.
okay,
Which you would think he would be a little more mature, but he's not. So he still thinks on the weekends he can go out with his friends and then just leave me at home, with our kids. And then when I want to tell him that hurts my feelings, he just says that I'm trying to like keep him from having fun.
okay. So you're saying that what I'm gathering is he doesn't take time to take care of the kids. He puts himself first, and you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed and depressed.
Yeah.
Because of how he's been treating you.
Yeah, I have a lot on me, and I feel like I don't have any support.
Okay, have you ever thought of leaving?
Oh, I think of leaving all the time, yeah.
Okay, so if you left him today, how would you feel after?
If it was just me and we didn't have any kids, I would leave. But I don't work. I stay at home with the kids and he works. So there's no way that I could take care of me and our 2 kids if I left. So I would love to leave, but that's not something I can do right now.
Okay, and are any grandparents involved?
They're involved, they just don't understand like the depth of what's going on. So like they come and see the kids and like we have dinner with them, but they don't know how unhappy I am.
Okay. Have they ever offered to keep them?
Sometimes they say that they'll watch them for like a couple of hours, but I know that they wouldn't really want to, so I just don't even ask. And honestly, like, I know that if I took some time off, I'd have to go to dinner with my husband, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to hang out with him.
Okay. But you've never physically asked them? So,
No, I don't really want to bother them.
okay. Cause they would probably be willing to help you if you reached out to them. Or like watching their kids, cause.
You think so?
I think if you like try reaching out to the grandparents, just be like, hey, you know, I want to take a girls' day. I haven't really had one in a while. Do you mind watching the kids for a couple of hours so I can go run some errands so you can spend time with yourself?
Do you think my husband would be mad if he found out that I took a day like that to myself?
Well, I think that he would understand, but at the same time, I feel like since he has never lived for himself, he wouldn't think
Right.
about you, he would think about himself.
So how do I get him to understand that?
I guess it's gonna take some like sitting down with a counselor or reaching out into other resources to help get through this. And I have a bunch of pamphlets that could help you.
Okay.
But I think that in this situation, it's very stressful on you, and you need all the support that you can get because you're a young mother and you need to have a strong support system with your kids and people to be there for you when you need it, because the most important thing about you is your self-care. And if you don't have your self-care, you'll get burnt out and it'll lead you into a depression.
That makes sense.
So how are you feeling right now?
Well, I feel like you've given me some good options going forward. And I know that there's things that I can do. I'm just nervous about how my husband would react if I said that I wanted to go to counseling, because I don't want him to think that he's the problem.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I know that it's not always easy. I know that it's gonna be hard, but I think it would be a necessary step to take because it would help you breathe easier.
I just don't want him to get mad. And because a lot of times if I tell him that I'm upset about something, he thinks that I'm just saying, you're the problem. You know, and really I'm just saying, I want someone to listen.
Okay. Has he ever pushed you away when you tried talking to him about your problems?
I mean, I feel like he definitely doesn't listen. Like he's, you know, not physically violent or anything. But he is not receptive to what, like if I say something hurts my feelings, instead of saying like, oh, I'm so sorry, how did I hurt your feelings? He just gets mad and thinks that I'm trying to start a fight or blaming him.
Okay. Do you know if he struggles with any issues from home growing up?
So he was an only child and he got his way growing up, and he is just very spoiled. So he's not used to people kind of challenging what he says. He's just used to everybody going along with whatever he says.
Okay, so that can be tough in your situation, and that it would be hard to deal with.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gathering.
because I'm just by myself all day with
Yeah.
my kids, and then he comes home and doesn't want to, even listen to what I have to say, which is very discouraging for me.
That's tough. So, in the midst of all of this happening, and I know that you said that you're struggling with anxiety and depression, have you ever thought about hurting yourself or others?
No, I've never thought about hurting myself. I do think about running away all the time,
Okay.
but I don't know. I mean, if I didn't have kids, I would run away, but I can't because I have them to worry about.
Okay. You're silent.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking back on after I graduated high school, and I was so excited because I'd gotten into a college and I was going to go to school, but then I'm just thinking back on, because we were talking about, my kids and everything, we didn't mean to get pregnant and we did, so I couldn't finish school. So I'm just thinking about how different it could have been if we didn't have kids. I could just leave right now.
Yeah.
But because we have kids, I have to stay, and so that just really makes me kind of sad.
Okay. Do you think that if you did leave, that he would try helping you with the kids at any point? Or do you think that he would just completely just like shut out everyone and just do himself?
Yeah, I think he's probably looking, like, I don't think he'd be mad if I left with the kids because then he could just live his single life.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It is completely okay.
My kids are still at school, but that's just letting me know that they're gonna be getting out soon.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for coming in today. In response to all of that, if you need any other additional resources than the ones that I have given you, you can always call me whenever you want.
Okay.
I'm always ready to listen.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. And if you are willing to come back next week, we can get more into detail about what's been going on since our last visit.
Oh, great.
If you're
Okay.
okay. So I know
That's good.
for each assessment, I provide an intake paperwork,
Okay.
and you will fill out questions on how you feel.
Okay.
Is that something you would be willing to?
Yeah, if you think that would help me, I'd be willing to
Okay.
to fill those out. Sure.
And maybe it would benefit you and in our sessions to bring your kids along.
Oh,
I could even, that could be even be beneficial.
okay.
So I can get to know you and your family,
Okay.
so.
All right. Well, thank you. I think you've given me
You're
some
welcome.
really good resources, and I like the idea of hopefully going further into some of the stuff that's bothering me and having
Yeah.
somebody to listen. So, thanks for saying that.
You're welcome.
It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too. I can't wait to see you again
Oh,
soon.
thank you. Have a great
You're
day.
welcome. You too.